Shalom. I want to start giving all praise to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rakakadash. A double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone who have teaching us the scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all the Akim across the world who are doing this work in sincerity and in truth. And shalom to the sincere brothers and sisters who are at home watching the videos and do the best to please Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai. So yeah, man, shalom. So this video, I basically want to go into spiritual powers, which are waiting for the elect, and Yahweh Tazah, Lord willing, we part of that number. And by watching the events going on in the world, shows us that the coming of Yahweh Shai is very close, like the scripture said in the book of Second Esdras, measure thou the time diligently in the time past, and that's what we do. We see things going on, and we laying the scriptures next to it, and shows us the times that we are in. Since Trump started to put sanctions on products from outside from America, more and more countries start to basically work together with each other. For example, China, they said that they're gonna stop with buying stuff from Boeing. And so that's going to be a big shot towards America also, because you got to realize, just I would say just take a round, take a walk inside your house and check how many products you got from China and how many products you got from America. So yeah, that should already show you something. And I also saw an article that Europe, they are busy to look if they are going to be able to start to get gas from Russia again, which they actually behind the scenes have been doing all the time, but now they want to become openly with it. Basically that's what it is. So they looking how they can get gas from Russia again, because they don't want to be depending from America. They see that this Trump character is a loose cannon. He's fucking them up. He thinks he's tough towards these countries, but he's fucking himself up, because that's one thing that you got to realize, that America as a consumer country, it's not really a country and a continent. That's the word. It's a continent. It's all about consuming. There are like I said, take a walk. Take a walk a few steps to your house and check how many products you got in your house that are from China, and how many products that you got in your house that are from America. So yeah, you already know that the majority of the stuff that you will find in your house would come, it's probably from China. Made in China, whether it be clothes, toys, you name it. But yeah, it's beautiful to see that, because these things showing us that the end is around the corner. That Yahweh Shai is about to come back. With Michael the archangel, sky's gonna be filled with chariots. Which gonna zap the people to powders. This missile's gonna be shot. The majority of them gonna be shot at America, which is gonna be how I said it, a sea of fire. Because that's the future of America, like the book of like the scripture said in the book of Isaiah, it's gonna, the Most High gonna sweep it with the besom, clean, get all the filth out, fire and brimstones, which are cleaning agents, So this is the book of First Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 51. Let me start at verse. Let me start verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither does corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Because some of the elect will not taste death. They will just, by a blink of the eye, they will change their corruptible body for an uncorruptible body, for a perfect body, in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the death shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. And Yahurat Zah, are we part of that number? That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect, because until that moment is there, we don't know, if we are part of the elect. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. And we're looking forward to this, like the scripture said in the book of, is it Jeremiah? Let me see. Give me one moment. Yeah. Because, the sky is going to be filled, Yahushua is going to come with a big fathership. The sky is going to be filled with chariots, Michael the archangel going to come in a chariot, zapping people to powder, so it's going to be fire everywhere, and the elect going to be the ground troops, of Yahweh Basham Yahushai, This is the book of Jeremiah 51 and verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Because, like Yahushua told his disciples, when he is about to come back, not one stone shall be left upon another. Matter of fact, let me read that real quick, because you gotta realize all these fucking shit that you see around you, it's gotta be cleansed. It's got to be built up from the bottom up. That's how it's going to be. And the heathens, they gonna build the kingdom of Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Don't think that after the slavery that we still that we basically that didn't really end it, because our people are still being sold in different diverse places as slaves. It is still going on. Let me see. This is the book of Matthew, chapter let me see, chapter 24. Yeah, let me just start at verse 1. So this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and 1. And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. You see that? And yeah, so Yahushua already made it clear to the disciples that everything's going to be flattened. From the ground up, the kingdom's going to be built. And matter of fact, let me jump real quick to the book of Isaiah, because that's also the part where it shows you that these heathens going to build our kingdom, the kingdom of Yahweh Basham Yahushua. We're not going to do it by ourselves. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60 and verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. So meaning their kings, they're going to be our servants. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. And we looking forward to this, Don't, I say that, think that we are not looking forward to this, because we really are. And let me see. What got here? This is and I already read this, right? But yeah, we're gonna be, the elect gonna be the ground troop. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 20. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. So, we looking forward to this. We're sick and tired of this society. Sodomites everywhere. All these female worship going on. Simp nation. Everything is backwards. It's backwards. these devils enjoying, hey, those are things that I'm tired of it, man. I'm really tired of it. But yeah, we have to suffer it, it's part of our punishment, that's what it is. And so yeah, we have to suffer it. So let me see. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 26 and verse 7. And ye shall chase your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. And 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. This is how it's going to be when we're going to receive that new body. If you look around you and see what's going on, don't you see all these human droids, all these robots that they are busy with making, which always makes me think of the movie I, Robot. And if you didn't see that movie, it's a really a good movie to watch, because it basically shows you what is about to happen. Because they are preparing all these robots, not to make it life convenient for the people. No, it's to fight the people, especially the elect. If you see things like these robots, it should already make you clear that without spiritual power, we wouldn't have a chance against these human droids and all that, that they are making. So let me see. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 30. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight, except the rock had sold them and the Lord had shut them up? So the Most High, Yahweh, through Yahushai, gonna give the elect, the spiritual powers. What did Yahushai told his disciples? The things that you see me doing, y'all gonna do greater than that. It doesn't mean that we're gonna be greater than Yahushai. Hell no. But the things that he did, that were shown onto the disciples, we're gonna do greater things. That's what he meant to say with that. And let me see, what more do I got? I think I got one more scripture. Yeah. So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 28. Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power, Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainted not, neither is weary? Yeah, because, Yahweh has no beginning nor end. He's omnipotency, he's all in all energy. He doesn't faint, like the scripture said. He doesn't get weary. There is no searchings of his understanding. Yeah, my thoughts are not your thoughts. The Most High is above everything, everybody. He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might. He increaseth strength. Even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon Yahweh shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. So that's talking about flying. They shall run and not be weary, like the flesh, and they shall walk and not faint, and this is really what we're looking forward to. So yeah, man. I mean, like, yeah, we are close to the end, things gonna be more difficult, but Yahweh Ratazah, like I mentioned in my previous video, the Most High will never put you, if you part of, if you are elected, to endure this, the Most High will never put something on you that you can't handle. So basically that, man. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakadash, double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone for teaching those scriptures, among other things, and salutations to all the Akyam across the earth who do this work in sincerity and truth, and shalom to the sincere brothers and sisters who are at home watching the videos and do the best to please Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai. So yeah, man, with that, I'm going to say shalom.